Is it even possible to disagree without being disagreeable? You know, I believe that discussion and debate is very different from arguments and hate. And we have a lot more of the latter lately. So, this is an art of learning to disagree without being disagreeable, an art that has been somewhat lost in our culture. And I would like to propose today that we need to work on getting it back. I'm Beverly Lewis. I'm an executive trainer and speaker. And I want to just give you a couple thoughts today about learning to disagree without being disagreeable. You know, we all have different worldviews. We all have different lenses of perspective. You know, these are glasses that I might wear that are good and have a lens for me that fits my eyes. And you might have an entirely different perspective. You might, whether you're coming from the left or from the right, or you're coming from a pro this or anti that, you know, we all have these different lenses that we see through. So what if I come into the room and I've got a lens that looks like this? You might think, oh no, give me those glasses. Those are ridiculous. Those make you look stupid. You need to get rid of those. What is likely to happen if you just rip the perspective, rip my lenses off my face? Is that respectful is the first question I have. But what happens is I'm likely to fight back. And what happens is that when people start to get argumentative, we often take the bait. Say, I got a trap here. And if we take the bait, we can go around in pain. And what is in you flows through you. So if I'm in pain because you've hurt my feelings, if I'm in pain because I've allowed myself to become offended by your behavior, then I'm in pain and I'm in a trap just as much as you are. And we're not going to be able to be productive and make progress in communication and understanding and building something because we're too busy tearing one another down. Does that make sense? So what's the answer? First off is to not take the bait and not be offended, to de-escalate the situation. I'm not saying you need to give up your viewpoint. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have lively debate. In fact, I grew up in a home, my dad loved to have debate at the dinner table. He believed in family conversation, and I often found him playing the role of devil's advocate. He would try to provoke me to get me to articulate my opinions. And in fact, I was on the debate team in high school, I'm pretty sure largely as a result of that training. But here's the thing. Again, we need to realize that we all have these different perspectives. We're all seeing the world through different lenses. And that doesn't mean you have to wear my prescription, but it begins when we de-escalate the situation, when we don't get so hot, we don't take the bait and get offended, and we start to listen to understand rather than to control. Because when we just bring all this data, and I do believe in people defending their viewpoints with actual fact, but the reality is there's so much different data, right? You know, we can almost prove any point if we go to the certain sources to find our data. And it all becomes an intellectual exercise. It becomes an intellectual war where everybody's trying to one up and win and let me give you all my data and let me prove my point. When we're operating out of our intellect, we're often bypassing the heart, the ability to listen, the ability to operate out of a spirit of love. And I want to propose another solution. What if we tell stories to communicate? Storytelling is centuries old, and it's very good at getting past people's defenses because it evokes certain hormones, the release of hormones that bring a sense of connection and compassion. And so those are just a few tips that I hope help today. But the main point I want to make in a very brief message like this is that it is possible to disagree without being disagreeable. And I think that we'll be in a better culture if we start to all set the goal to learn that art. And I can help you with it. I would love to. I'd like to talk about this further. I teach entire workshops on this subject, but I want to appreciate your time today and thank you for joining me. I look forward to talking with you soon because the best is yet to come and we are the bringers of the good. Thanks.